Hello, this is Hanzala, and on this video we are taking a look into secrets. Now this question is on Code Cloud and it's on the mock exam 1, lab 1, question 2. And this question is asking us, it's telling us the pod has been created in the Orion namespace. It uses secrets as environment variables, extract the decoder secret from the connector password and place it in this directory in this location. But also, not only that, we also need to change the way it's using secrets. So it's saying that it's using environment variable, but instead it wants us to mount the secret as a read-only volume at this path, so the application inside can still use the secret. So to do this, we need to, first of all, what I would recommend is switch to the namespace that we're going to be looking at. So if you do kconfig, you do set context, and you do press tab, and you should get the current context. We don't need to change that, and we just need to change to the Orion namespace. Now that's done. We do Kubernetes get pods, and we do describe pod, and let's have a look where we can see. Yep, you can see there's a secret there, asafe-secret. We can get more information again if we do Kubernetes get pod -o YAML. And in the YAML manifest, does it tell us anything else? No, it just tells us it's an environment variable and the secret is from asafe secret. Now let's see if we have access to the secrets. So we have access to the secret. Now if we do Kubernetes describe, you can see it says a connector password. So all we have to do actually is an easy way to do this is if you do get secrets and you do -o YAML, this would give you the decode or the encoded value. And if you copy this and we do echo, we do base 64-D, and this would give us the password, the decoded password. But there's another way you can do this as well, in case you don't have access to maybe doing secrets. There could be a question possibly in any of the mocks or even in the exam that it may say that, for example, give us the value and you only have a limited amount of access. So if you only had a limited amount of access and you could do Kubernetes get pods, what you would do then is you would do exec, and to remember the command, just do --help, do IT, and then we want to open the bash shell if we can. So let's do bash, and if you do environment, we can see over here it's got the connector password here too. So this would give you the answer too, because it's an environment variable. So there's two ways to get this answer, and now you know both. So since we know the password, all we got to do now is to store it in the directory and the location it wants us to store it. If you do, I missed the -d sign, and we press enter. Okay, it's saying it doesn't exist, so let's do ls and let's do go back to secrets. Okay, so the folder doesn't exist, so we just have to create it. Do mkdir, and then we do the same command. So now the folder is created, and this will create the file as well. And we can check the file is created. So the password is there and the decoded value is there. So that's part one done. Now we need to get the pod, and what I would recommend here is you get the YAML manifest and then you put it into a file. So we have a copy of the file and you open this up, and now what it is telling us here is we need to use it at a read-only volume. So since we don't know, let's have a look at the volume. How would you do this in the exam? Well, search your volumes quickly, and then you do Control F, write secrets, and see what reference you can find to secret. So here it's telling us a secret volume is used to pass sensitive information, and you can mount them as files. So this is what we want. And how would we find it? It's telling us to go over here. So let's open this up. And it's telling us how we could mount this. And it's saying you can mount it by doing by doing the mount. So this is the actual answer to the question how to do it. So we just need to specify the requirements on the volume and the volume mounts into our file. So let's create the delete some of this stuff here, like creation times stamp resource UID we don't need, and also anything after with resources and below it we don't really need. So we can remove this. And now that is done, we just need to copy this into our file. And this should line up because that lines up with E, and then the dash is to the L, and the name and the secrets match, so that's correct. And this is at the right point, so that's fine. And then all we have to do is write the secret name into over here, and then the only thing left over here will be that we need to just put another dash with the image. So that should be fine. That lines up with containers. And now we don't actually need this because we're not storing as an environment variable anymore. And the other thing to copy and paste is this copy and we paste. And we know straight away that the volume mount lines up with command. And here, well, it lines up with command there, but it lines up with the image, so it doesn't line up here. So we press press the backspace once, and we do that with all of them, so they're all on the same page. And now we can see this is matching, and this is also the same over here, so that's fine. And the name doesn't matter. The name can be the same as the secret volume. It's not told us to give it a name, so the name secret volume should be fine. The only thing we need to change is the mount path, and we need to ensure that it's the same as what the question wants, which is this. So now that's done, we close this by WQ and exclamation mark, press enter, and we do Kubernetes get pod. So we know that the pod is up, and we do delete pod, and we can do Kubernetes create fq2 YAML, and this will create the pod. And now if we do get pods, we can see it's running, which is good, and we check over here. There shouldn't be any environment, but we can see it's mounted. We know it's working. And you can, furthermore, you can check this even more by doing an exec, and then this is you've completed the question by this point, but we can check by doing exec it dash dash bash. And if we go into the location by doing mount connector password and connector password, and you can see the password is stored over here. So that's this question done. And the advantages of this over using environment variable, this is more secure, and the application can still read the secret by doing it this way. And also this allows rotation. So if it was stored as an environment variable, you wouldn't be able to rotate it because it's an environment variable, whereas the mounted path, you have a bit more option and flexibility, so you can reread the file and pick up new values without actually having to restart the application. So this makes it better and more secure as well. So if we do end exam, and we can evaluate our result. Okay, so that's all working now. Again, thank you for watching. Press like and subscribe, and drop a comment below. Would love to hear your thoughts and what you think. And thank you for watching.